So when you open Kinemaster, you go to media. So this is media. So when you click on media, you go to the file you downloaded a background. Okay, make sure you already have a background you downloaded. So I'm going to go to where I already downloaded my background, and I'm going to add the background to Kinemaster. So once the background is added, you can see that the background is not full, but the aspect ratio I'm using is actually the aspect ratio for YouTube. Okay, so I'm just going to enlarge this background. So to do that, I'll go to pan and zoom. So here is pan and zoom. So once you click on pan and zoom, you click on the start position. The start position refers to how you want the clip to be at the beginning of the video. So I'm going to zoom in. Okay, I'm going to zoom in like this. Now if I want the clip to remain like this to the end, I'll just enable the equal to sign. I'll just enable the equal to sign, and then it's going to be like this to the end. Okay, then I'll go back. So once I go back, I'm now going to bring in the object I want to animate. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the object I want to animate, and to bring it in, I'll just come to layer, and then I'll select media. Okay, it's an image I'm bringing in, and that image I already removed the background of that image. So I'm going to bring in that image from here. So once I click on media, I'll bring in my image. So I removed the background of that image using photo room. Okay, that's why you can see watermark. So I just had to shift the object to one side. Okay, and I'll crop out this other part that has the watermark. But if you don't want any watermark, you can always download the cracked version of photo room. Okay, so here's an object that we have brought in. Okay, so now we want this drink, as it's coming down, we want it to be a splash. Okay, underneath the drink. So this is the drink. Now we are going to bring in the splash. Now to download the splash, you can always use Pinterest or use image search man. Just look for drink splash or orange drink splash. Okay, you see those images, then you can always remove the background of the images using photo room or remove the background. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in the splash still as layer. Now if you're bringing anything as layer, it means you want to work on it. Okay, it's going to be on this surface. But if you bring in that thing as media, like we brought in the background, you won't be able to work on it. Okay, you won't be able to animate it. So I'll bring in the object, the splash, as layer. So I'll go to where the object is, it's photo room. So here is the splash effect. I brought it in, I've tapped and I brought in the splash effect. Okay, I can bring in any of these other splash effects that are here. Okay, I think I'm okay with those two. Right, so I'll move it to the front. Then I'm going to crop out the watermark here. And I'll enable it. Now to crop, hope you saw what I did. You just come here to cropping. Once you select the image, you see cropping down here. Then you click on cropping here. And then once you click on cropping, you just enable the mask, and then you can choose how you want to crop it. I want to crop it in a circular form anyway, but I'm not cropping in a circular form but in a square form, so I'll allow it. So once I enable it, and I'll move this to the part I want to crop, and then I'll allow it, and then I'll go back. So now we have cropped that watermark. So now this is going to be part of the splash that I'm going to add to the drink. As you can see, the splash, the color of the drink splash actually rhymes with the drink. So but it is a little different, so I'm just going to tone the color a bit. So I'll come here to adjustment, and then I'll increase the saturation of this drink, and I also increase the temperature. Okay, so that is good. So temperature to 44, and then the saturation is at 24. Alright, so now you can always duplicate this. So I'm just going to duplicate this. Now after duplicating, I'm going to move them to the back. So I'll move this one, I'll click on these three dots at the top, and then I'll send to back. I'll do same with this one. But before I send to back, I'm going to turn it the other way. Okay, so I'll come to transform, and then you see mirroring. Okay, I want it to turn the other way. Okay, so I'll click on mirroring, and I'm going to turn the other way, and then I'll come back, and then I'm going to send this particular one to the back. Send to back. Okay, then there's another splash that was there as well, so I'm just going to bring it in. Now I see this splash. Okay, so I'm just going to crop this watermark out. I'll crop the watermark, and then I'll go back. Now I can always turn this splash. Okay, so I'll come back to adjustment, and then I'll adjust the color of the splash. I'll adjust the temperature. That's okay. Then I'm just going to turn it, okay, so that it looks real. I'm going to cover this down part. And I'll duplicate it, and then I'll move this other one. I'm going to also do the same thing here. I'll come to transform, and then I'll come to mirroring and click on this other part, the one that is rotating to the left, to the right. Okay, so now I'll go back. So you can see that with this splash, you can't see the under part, but there's a splash there. Okay, so you can choose to increase the size of this. You can choose to increase the size of the one behind it. You can do same with this one. I think this one should be okay, so I'm not going to touch it. Alright, so when the bottle lands, this is how the splash is going to look like. Okay, so now I'm just going to I'll bring in a background, a juice background. Okay, still a splash, but I also want this one to be a stable background, so I'll still come to my images. So this is the background I brought in. Okay, I just want it to save as a background, so I'm just going to move this thing to back. Okay, so that will just save as a background, but somehow I don't like it. Let me just increase this and fill it up. Okay, alright, let me adjust it. Okay, adjust the saturation, adjust the vibrance, then adjust the temperature. Good. So I just wanted that blur effect on the background, so I'm just going to move this to the beginning so that it stays from the beginning to the end. Now I want the length of the clip to be about 10 seconds, so I'm just going to move this to 10 seconds. Okay, now this splash is not going to come at the beginning. Alright, so I want the situation where the bottle comes in first. As it's coming in, at the point where it's hitting the ground, the splash now comes on. So I'm going to move in the splash images backwards. Then I'll animate the bottle. So I'll move this back, Okay. Alright, so now the bottle is alone. I'll just increase the size a bit. Good. So now how we want this bottle to come in, I'm going to centralize this. Center horizontally and center vertically. So now I don't just want it to come in the normal slide down. Okay, I don't just want it to come in like that. I want it to actually come in a better way. So I'm going to use a keyframing tool. So I'll just select the clip, the bottle, and then I'll come here to the object at my left, the tool at my left. I'll come here, So this is the image selected. Then I'm going to come here to this tool, and then once I select the tool, my animation is going to begin. So once I move this timeline, I'm going to increase the length of this bottle to this place, okay, so that the bottle will stay throughout that period. Alright, so I'm just increase the length to the end, and then I'm going to animate the inside. So to do that now, I'm going to I'll select the bottle, click on the keyframing tool. So when I click on this icon, the animation begins. Okay, so whatever I do to this bottle after now is how bottle is going to behave. So something I did not do, I'll just undo this. I'll go back. I'm going to hide the bottle, how I want it to be. So I'm just going to turn it and carry it up. Okay, so it's now going to turn and come down. Right, so I've hidden the bottle. So now I'll begin my keyframing. So now the animation is going to start from here, from the beginning. Then I'll move it to where I want the animation to stop. That splash will start. I'll move it to this place. So in 3 seconds time, in 2 seconds, it's going to come down. Then I can now begin to move the bottle the way I want it. So I'll move it, and turn it down. So let's see how it's going to be. So you can see that. Okay, so now at that point when the bottle just lands, the splash is going to begin. So you just move the splash to that point when the bottle was about to land. So once it lands, the splash comes up. Okay, so I'll move the splash in here a bit, so which means every other thing is going to start from there. So I'll move this one to this point. I'm going to move all the splash images to that point. Okay, good. So now what we are going to do now, I'm also going to animate the splash. Okay, so I'll begin with this first one. So how the first one going to come in, it's going to begin little, so I'm just going to reduce it first. I'll reduce it and I'll hide it behind the bottle. Okay, so that once the bottle lands, see, so once the bottle, okay, I'm going to shift these ones first so that you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm supposed to move this forward. Okay, so that is the other background I just moved. Okay, so now I'm going to move the other one so you see the one I'm working on, how it looks like. So I'll move this one backward so I'll be able to work on this first one now. So now here is a splash. So it's little at first. Okay, so now once the bottle comes in, at that point it will appear. So I'm just going to, the in animation is going to be pop, and then from there I'm going to animate it. I'll come here to the keyframe to, from that beginning part when it comes in. Now I want the splash to continue even to the end of the video. Okay, so I'm going to increase it to the end of the video so that the splash still continues. I don't want a point where the splash will go and freeze. Don't worry, you understand what I'm saying as I continue. So now, so this is splash hidden behind the bottle here. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to hide it behind the bottle. So that is it. I'm the beginning. I'm going to begin keyframing now. So I'll mark the beginning here. I'll move it a bit so that this white plus icon shows. Now I'm going to click on it. As I do that, I'll just move it to where I want the animation to end. And then once I reach that part, I'll just increase this I'll increase it. I'll move it to this side. I'll increase it. Okay, so that it comes out. Now I'm done with that part. So I'm going to move it back so you see how it's going to be. And it's even already too slow. It's too slow. So I'm going to I'll reduce the length of the clip, okay, so that it's not too slow. Reduce the length. And then reduce the length of the splash as well. Okay. So I'm going to do it again. I'll undo the last one I did so that the splash doesn't take too much time. It's not too slow. So I'll reduce it to this part. So at this point it's going to stop. So I'm going to increase it from here. Okay, increase it. Now stop there. So let's see how it's going to be. So once you just finish moving the object the way you wanted it to be, just stop there. Okay. Then I'll do the same thing to these other ones. I'll move them to this place. I'll move this other one, the second part of it. This one, okay, here. Move it to where the other one began. So they're going to all start at the same time. Now I'm going to reduce it and put it right here behind. And I'm going to animate it. So I'll come here to the keyframing tool and then I'll click on that plus icon to begin. Then I'll move it to where I want it to end. No, it has to end where the other one ended. Okay, so I have to make sure that I note where the other one ended and then I'll end in that same place. Okay, so let me see this one where it ended. Okay, so this is where it ended. So I'll make sure mine also ends there as well. So I'm going to end there for this particular one. But I should make sure that this clip is at the end. Okay, just like the other one is at the end. So I'm going to stop where the other one stopped, so that everything will be equal. Oh no, one splash will not be leaving the other. Right, so now that's for that one. So it begins with this one, then it's going to stop at this point where this one stopped. Okay, so from here we now increase the splash, increase the splash. Alright, so we are done with that one. Now if you play it and see, you see the way it's going to go. Alright, so now let's now animate the other splash. So move it to where the other one began. Move it to this part, okay, and then we increase the clip to the end, and then we're going to animate it. So to animate it, we'll first reduce it so that it will start from small scale and then it becomes bigger. Okay, I'm going to keep it in front here. So now I'll begin the animation. I'll move the clip a bit. Once I see the plus icon, I'll now enable it there, and then I'll move it to where I want it to end, which is the same with this other one. Okay, then I'll increase it from there. Good. So you can see that it's actually increasing. Alright, so we play that, you see how it's going to be. Okay, now let's animate the last one. see it didn't even come in normal as it's supposed to. So I'm just going to move this for first one a bit down and move this other one also, so that they all come in when they're supposed to come in. Okay, let's try it again. It still took time to come in. Okay, I didn't add an in animation for this one, so let it be pop. I'm going to be in 5 seconds. Same with this one, to pop in 5 seconds. Same with this one, to pop in 5 seconds. Same with this one, to pop in 5 seconds. Okay, let's see how it is going to be. Okay, so you see they still came in late. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to reduce the length of it so that it's not slow. Okay, so it actually comes in fast. So reduce the length, the duration. Then I'll do same with this one. So the movement will be fast, it won't be slow. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, so I'll move this again, because I think the bottle actually landed and waited for some seconds before the splash came. So let's move it forward. Let's see. I'll reduce the duration again. Still too slow. It has to be fast. It's a splash. It has to be fast. So I'll reduce the duration again. Okay. So let's see. And you see it freezed at some point. Now if you notice, the images actually freezed at some point. So what we are going to do, at that point where it freezes, it means that the animation stopped there. Okay, so I'm going to from there I'm going to increase the keyframing to the end. I'm going to mark another keyframing. Okay, so I'll just come here. I'm going to mark another one. So I'll make sure I'll increase it to the last. Keep increasing it till it feels and fades away. So it's going to actually fade out. So I'll increase it to the last. I'll do same with this one. So the keyframe actually continues till it fades. So I'll do same with this other one. I'm increasing it till I'm doing same with this one. I'll increase it till it fades. Okay, so at the end I'm going to add an up animation for it and make them to actually fade out. Okay, so now let me add an up animation so that as this is increasing, it's leaving the screen. So out animation for all of them is going to be fade. Same with this one, fade. I think I did something wrong with animation. Let me correct it. It was spinning. Okay, let me correct that. Okay, I think that should be right. So the out animation for this one is fade. Same with this one, fade. Then same with this one is fade. Alright, then the bottle as well will fade. Okay, you cannot all fade and leave the bottle behind. Okay, I'm going to trim right. Okay, I'll allow it to be there. I'm not going to split it, and then splitting it made it not to actually, so I'm going to now make it a fade out. Fade. Okay, so all of them are going to leave the screen at the same time. Let me undo the split. I have to split at the right point. Okay, so I'm supposed to split it at the point when this splash all left. Okay, so they all leave the screen at the same time. Okay, so I'll split it here. Come here and click on split. Then I'll delete this other one. Okay, then I'll make it to fade out. Good. So now let's play it and see. Okay, still it didn't still, something's still wrong with the, okay, let's see. Okay, so let me make this to come in. This is going to fade in, this other one is going to fade in, so I'm going to make it to fade in so it doesn't just appear at once. Same with this one. Let's see. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to add music to it. Now, even if you want to add a splash effect, you can always add. So add music to it. So I'm using this audio. So just add it to the video and then you play it and hear how it sounds. Okay, so this, you can actually make this perfect. Okay, take more time and work on it to make it perfect. So let me just move this forward a bit. Okay, for some reasons I feel they come in too late. Good. Alright, so that's how you can actually create water splash. Then you can actually add anything you want to the video. Just make sure that this extra background is not here. Okay, so I'm going to remove this extra part. So just trim right. Now trim right. Okay, and also trim right for the music, or trim right. Sorry. Okay, now make the audio to fade out at the end. Okay, in 2 seconds to fade out. Good, and it's going to fade in as well. And the audio won't fade in, but the video will fade in, and the video will fade out. Good. So now you can always export these two, so you can see it actually faded out. Okay, so you can always export these out. Okay, then save. Right, so that's how you can create a drink splash effect on Kinemaster. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to this channel as more mind-blowing tutorials will be coming your way.